check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Welcome back to another episode of the Chad Smith Podcast. I'm your host, Chad Smith, and today is Tuesday, the 13th of December, and I'm joined, as always, by my two co-hosts from California. Welcome back to the podcast, Mr. Sonny Conway and Spooky Morales.
Good morning.
What's up?
How's it going?
Very good. Thank you.
Sonny, what's the temperature out there? We always got to know how close are we to garage fires?
34 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, we're getting pretty close to a garage fire then at 34.
Oh, there's been 2 garage fires already this morning.
Luckily, I was witness to one. You sent me a video of it. Got to see the first garage fire.
Right now, I ain't scared of getting one.
Oh. Is this the first on-air garage? Are you going to light one up here?
Oh, yeah. I'm fucking...
Oh, man. The first of the year on-air garage fire. For anybody that's not aware, we had these last year where Sonny just pours alcohol on the floor. What happened?
It's not very big. It's so cold the alcohol won't burn.
Oh, that's real cold. He just pours rubbing alcohol on the floor in the garage there and lights it up. And says it's a lot better than a regular heater.
Hell yeah, it is. It gets hot fast.
Real quick before we bring up our guest, I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. We got Cassie from Oracles and Beyond. How's it going, Cassie? We got Sam from Arden Paranormal.
Sam.
Michigan Gems. Susan A's in the house. Jake Smith.
Now she's going.
We got Enzo Cyril in the house. How's it going, Enzo? Got your coffee? Got Jake Smith. Forensic Mystics is also Cassie. Make sure you're subscribed to Forensic Mystics. Who else is in here? Walt is in here. How's it going, Walt? Carol XO, great to see you.
Okay, I'm gonna go get one.
Who else is in here? Hectic Scart, Stargazer Cindy. And we got Jeanette Sanchez, as always. Great to see you this morning. And Nikki. How's it going, Nikki? Great to see you. Good job on your show earlier this morning. I'm going to have to catch back up on that. The JoJo Bone Show.
That was a good show.
Oh, wow.
He has
Whoa,
some good
and we got Jamie on here.
Wow.
Good morning, Jamie.
Fuckers.
All right, everybody. We're going to bring up our guest. We had him on here before talking ghosts and aliens and quantum physics. So we cover all the gambit with this guy. Welcome back, Mr. Sunsaver. How's it going?
What's up?
Hey, everybody.
Oh, he might have a delay, Chad.
Hey, Chad.
What's up, man?
Oh.
There is a little bit of a delay. Sunsaver's got himself some new headphones this time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got a delay, though. You want to have him go out and come back in, Chad?
Yeah, buddy. I'm going to kick you out and just click that link back to come back
Doing
in.
the old in and out.
The old in and out. We're used to this.
The old pull-out trick.
He's got himself some new glasses, some new headphones.
Look, he didn't hear that last part because he got a delay. He's like, well, fuck you, Chad. I ain't coming back.
Yeah, I'm surprised we don't get that response sometimes. I've tried this 3 times already.
I'll show you a fucking delay.
I'm getting out of here. Going back to bed. And a quick pull out. What's up, Sam?
Whoa.
Cassie. Yeah, so let's see here. Should be able to get him back up here. You just got to click that link. Click that link, you know. Throw some music on before he gets here. Oh, man. I had a unproductive weekend. Didn't get a whole lot of stuff done, but relaxed. I was relaxed. What about you guys?
I've been sick.
Oh, yeah. Sonny's been sick. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sunsaver.
Hey, welcome back.
Can you hear us, man? No delay.
Hey,
That's a little
sounds
bit better.
good.
Might be a
Yeah,
little
sounds good,
delay.
man.
Tell us your life story.
Yeah, tell us your whole life story and
My
go.
life story. I was born in hell, and that turned into a bat and flew out.
Dude, for some reason, I was so confused. I thought you were in British Columbia for some reason, and then you reminded me last night that you're down south.
British Columbia.
Louisiana or Loudon.
Louisiana.
Call it.
Jimbo. Isn't that the other guy?
Yeah, I live in
Oh,
North
Jimbo.
Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
We got him
Jimbo.
confused because we were talking to the two of them around the same time, I think.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, we were talking to
Mhm.
two people at the same time, and yeah, he must be up north. So
But
you're
they're
down
both
in
very, very
I live
brilliant
about a
guys.
mile down the road. Who is that?
Oh, go ahead, bud.
Oh, I was going to say, I live about a mile down the road from the Duck Dynasty. If folks know about the Duck Dynasty, kind of famous around here. TV
Oh yeah.
personalities. So their castle playground thing, giant mansion, is like a mile down the road from me. So I live in a fairly decent area, but it's like a little blue collar neighborhood. And, I used to have a construction company, but before all that, I was in electronics. I started tinkering around with electricity when I was a very little child, really. I was just fascinated. I saw my mom let me stay up late with my big brother, and we watched Frankenstein, the old 1935 version of Frankenstein. And I just was fascinated by all the electricity, the sparks going around, the chemistry was full of, colored liquids and stuff. And it was black and white, but still, it was just sort of fascinating to me. And then, of course, when the creature comes alive, I was like, wow, he really did something. He created a life. He's like a daddy, really, in a way. And so that was my inspiration to get into science as a child, was the movie Frankenstein, believe it or not. So, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a mad scientist. I don't really want to be mad. Just want to be a scientist, though.
I could see that though if you're watching that as a
So I
younger
started
guy.
building, things. Yeah, it kind of fascinated me. I mean, it ended tragically, but it was like, God, he was so close. If that dude hadn't screwed up and got the wrong brain, put in the creature, it would have worked. All right. So, and then computers. I was fascinated by computers. That was like one of the first things. My dad bought me a book on Thomas Edison and stuff like that, like the history of invention in America. So I built a telegraph and I ran it to my neighbor's house. I was like 6 or 7.
Very cool.
And when I was 8 years old, I started building a robot. This was in the 70s, by the way, too. So it was kind of like one of the original whiz kids from the 80s. 1981, I built my own home computer. It's this big box thing. It was actually supposed to be a hybrid analog and digital computer. And so I just sort of got a reputation from there on. I went to a Catholic school over in Monroe, Louisiana. And one day my dad decided, hey, I'm going to bring the robot up there for show and tell. He really brought my robot. My dad was a professor, taught at the local university. So that kind of gave me somewhat of an advantage on experimental equipment and stuff. Like they throw out electronics or test equipment or whatever, chemistry, glassware, everything, they throw it out. And so he just, hey, anybody want this? It's going in the landfill. So my dad would bring home electronics, books. He also ran a book company. So that's what really effed me up, so to speak. He would bring home books on science and a few books. I was reading also.
Oh, hold on, buddy. Your
everybody there?
Wi-Fi is breaking up.
Yep. You're froze.
If this keeps doing this,
I'm
Sunsaver,
froze.
we might
Too.
We might have to cut your camera off, because that'll at least we'll be able to still hear your voice. And then that would drastically, cut down on the Wi-Fi that you'd have to use.
I don't think I can stop his cam from.
Yeah,
over
well,
here.
we do have storms in the area too.
Oh yeah, you did let me know that you were going to have some tornado warnings today. So he was like, it might get a little crazy down here.
Yeah, I don't like them tornadoes.
Yeah, I think I just have a time delay on the audio.
Yeah, it seems to be quite a quite a bad delay there. But you said at the age of 6 or
All right,
7.
well, okay.
You said at the age of 6 or 7, you ran a telegraph from your neighbor's house. Was that something that you built?
Yes.
That...
Yes, I think I was 7 because I didn't start really learning to read until I was 7. I had dyslexia or Lex Dixie, and I always getting my tongue tangled. So I had trouble learning to read, and so I learned to read looking at the shoulder, and I just kind of learned to read phonetically and by watching Sesame Street. Believe it or not, Sesame Street taught me how to read. You know, fa, ka. So I've kind of learned to read like that, and I built a telegraph to my neighbor's house. So
a telegraph cool. For Morse code telegraph.
But I got Morse code telegraph. Yeah, in the 70s, you know, I was fascinated by the telephone technology. Put my earbuds back in, that might help a little bit. I was fascinated by telephone technology, so I built a little telegraph. Now I would just sort of send little messages, you know, and kind of pretend like we're secret agents or whatever behind enemy lines. And I kind of got bored with it and started doing chemistry. And then I realized that almost everything causes cancer. And I was like, wow, you know, we really need to recycle things. And I became very disillusioned with chemistry. They're not really curing people. They're just treating symptoms. So I switched to electronics and electricity because that was the other part of Frankenstein. It was all the machines with the lightning bolts going up and everything. So just fascinated by electricity and started absorbing everything I could read. My dad would start bringing home books on the physics of electricity and magnetism, quantum mechanics, etc., you know. And of course, I built the robot, like I said, 7th grade. I started working on that. And by 8th grade, I completed it. I think I was like 12, 13 years old. And for show and tell, my dad like sort of snuck it in there and brought it up to the school. And he just drove it into the classroom. And it was kind of like, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Disney's movie, The Black Hole.
No, I haven't seen that one.
I haven't heard of that.
Haven't even heard of it, actually.
Yeah.
How old was that movie?
It was a science fiction movie. It was in like the early 80s or maybe the late 70s. Okay. It was like not long after Star Wars. So they try to kind of model it after Star Wars to make the little droids kind of likable or whatever. So it was kind of cheesy. Like the robots were cheesy. But the special effects were breaking time. It was Disney, Black Hole. It was a pretty good movie. Anyhow, Hector was based on that Hector the robot off of the Disney World is what I called him, Hector the robot. So he had little arms with pinchers, you know, it's kind of scary looking. I made it look like a little, you know, I am here to destroy the world. So my dad drives in, you know, the nuns are freaking out. The teacher climbs up on the desk. So
Black Hole is a Disney movie that came out in 1979.
The Alphabet Agency's got a dossier on me.
Thanks, Enzo. Yeah, see, that's another one of those that you'd think being in this community of talking UFOs and aliens and all the weird stuff that we would have heard of that movie since it's a Disney movie, but I've never heard of that one. 1979. It looks really cool.
Mm-hmm. It was mixed reviews. I think it had good special effects. It was just, yeah, it was pretty good. I wouldn't mind watching it again. You know, just sort of ignore easy robots, all the special effects.
Mm-hmm. Here's one of the robots.
But,
that is
the life story. We're doing my life story. Yeah, I kind of based it on a scary looking robot, but cheesy to some extent too.
Well, Sunsaver, I wanted to bring up this video that we talked about before we got started. The Tesla arc lightning.
About this video.
Lightnings. So yeah, can you just give us a brief description of what we're going to be looking at here when I pull it up?
Okay, so brief description of the video is after about 20 years of not doing any sort of electronic stuff, I just sort of ran my own construction company and successful with that, paid my house off. I started getting back into inventing things. You know, everybody was talking about free energy about 10 years ago, 10 years or so. And I had been interested in Joe Newman as a child, as a teenager. My dad questioned me. He was in the news. This guy invented a motor. No one could explain how the motor worked. It appeared to be over unity, put out more power. Like, is it cold fusion or what is it? Cold fusion was another one. I was following Pons and Fleischman or cold fusion breakthrough, and then they killed it. So, but there's reasons we now know. Thanks, Russia, for showing us why we have to keep a lot of this stuff pretty secret. So, and the old companies run everything too now. So they're suppressing quite a lot of this technology, discoveries in physics, modern physics. So I started looking at the free energy. I decided to build a Joe Newman motor. I couldn't find plans online anywhere for free. Finally, I found some free plans. Everybody wanted to sell you the plans. I actually found his original patent application, which was denied. They didn't give him a patent. It was denied. So I looked up the patent application, built it according to the patent application, and it worked right away. Just boom, started running. I was like, well, I was not really expecting it to do shit. I mean, I spent a couple $100 to do it just as a test. Like, I'm going to disprove this, right? I'm a skeptic. I believe all the modern, Newtonian theories or whatever. Particle theory. See, I'm moving totally away from particle theory. We're just going into quantum mechanics. Fields. It's all fields and energy, vibration, sound, frequency, and vibration. You've heard this recently.
Oh yeah.
That's the meaning of it. It's not. There's no particles. This is a Newtonian illusion of the mechanical. As a matter of fact, you're not even you anymore. You're all the cells in your body have been replaced after like a year or 6 months. It's all new. The cells are all different cells. It's different chemicals. It's not even the same actual atoms.
Right.
So the memory get transferred. Like, how do you retain your memories? If their memories are contained in your head, right? How do they transfer into the new mass
new cells? Right.
Of water and chemicals and salts and potassium that your body's made out of, right? People reported, hey, well, you were dead for 20 minutes. We barely made, well, yeah, your thing up there is unplugged. That's why, the oxygen wasn't working, or the whatever, they tried to shock them and it wouldn't work. Your thing up there is unplugged. Well, they climbed up on top of the thing where nobody could see, and it was unplugged. Well, how did she know this thing up there near the ceiling? Well, obviously she must have been out of her body. I mean, come on, and there's been so many. I don't believe in coincidences either. So, like, 2 strikes and we're calling the cops and starting an investigation, right? 3 strikes and you're out.
You're out.
UFOs are real. They're here. What are they doing? That's why Congress is involved now. See, you just can't hide it. Too many people have seen UFOs, but the free thing, no one's talking about it still. And the super technology, all the nanomaterials, all this is still secret. But again, I'm somewhat complicit in this because I've deleted a lot of videos. I decided to quit trying to promote it. I was just hitting a stone wall. I started getting threats from people I don't even know, just out of the blue. I think oil companies maybe, or who knows. I got attention though, and I decided, well, maybe I don't need so much attention for that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of upsetting because our environment is really degrading with the air pollution. And so this concerns me. This is why I did this. This is why I'm back into it now and started doing it. But how to promote it, now, like I turned 180 degrees this year because of the invasion of Ukraine.
Right. So, who did you say was the one that tried to file the patent on this? Who did the file or the patent application that you said that you found?
Yes. Guy's name was Newman. He was from Lucedale, Mississippi, and he was in the Times-Picayune and our local newspaper, which used to be the News Star World in Monroe, Louisiana. But he was in the Times-Picayune. He was on he was on Johnny Carson. You can look for Joe Newman, Johnny Carson. I think there's some YouTube videos, Joe Newman, Johnny Carson. And then he kind of lost his mind. He got donations from these Christian groups and stuff. But then he got really just choked out of the market, by big money and special interests or whatever. So just kind of lost his mind. He married an underage girl. like in Mississippi, apparently it's legal to marry a 14-year-old or something. So I don't know. I don't know about all that. Again, I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just concerned about the environment. I'm an environmental activist is why I'm these things. But now I'm kind of like we're in a wartime situation.
Mm-hmm. So you worked on this motor,
Anyhow,
or this, you got to work on that when you found the patent application.
Yeah,
you got
Joe
to work
Newman,
on the motor itself, right?
Yeah. I found his original patent application, which was denied. They say it won't work or it doesn't, or you're lying or whatever. You know, he was already getting a lot of publicity before he tried to file a patent too, which is probably not wise too. You know, our last patent application, you know, my buddy he wasn't looking over his shoulder. Maybe somebody asked him, well, why are you patent searching? You know, why are you looking up all the F-16 fighter technology? So that's what I had him looking up. Was, you know, what do they got in F-16? You know, what? And
that'll get people asking questions.
I wanted to look at the pulsar, which is the head tracker that was used. Yeah. So somebody probably asked him some questions, and he said, yeah, we're doing this new invention. It's called artificial reality. Here's how we're going to do it. And they must have told him everything, because like they came out, virtual reality this, virtual reality that. And then like a year later, and I was writing a patent application for artificial reality, and everybody's talking about virtual reality, the new reality, you know. Invented by this guy, Jan Lanier, or something like this. And like, no, man, this is our invention. We've been working on this for years already. I was inspired by the movie Tron, which is a classic.
I remember you telling us about that last time.
What?
If anybody missed that from the last interview,
Sunsaver
was actually working on the patent for virtual reality before it was.
Can we show that video
released.
with that cold spark?
Yeah, so this is the invention that he was working on.
This is amazing, guys. This should electrocute the hell out of you if you even thought about touching it.
You 8 different conditions now, so that has to really just go into like some matrix computation, because no one's going to be doing like 8 dimensions in their head, right? So like a supercomputer is going to have to do the math of the future when it comes.
So this thing that's spinning, is that hooked up to a battery that's turning it, or where's the power coming from that's turning this motor?
No, that's plugged in the wall. That's 120 volts AC. That's like your power drill. That's like your TV appliance or something. It's plugged in the wall, 120 volts. Don't walk around socked feet. You know, don't stand in water and touch the plug, or you probably be ticket to heaven. Quick ticket to heaven there.
Don't try this at home, guys.
To these machines. But anyways, let's look at these art in the wall.
Holy!
See, my finger's right on there. I mean, I'm touching that.
He's touching the wire.
It's not shocking me. I don't feel anything, man. See, and I feel the fan blade. Like, ow!
I can just imagine Sonny's first time watching this. His reaction was like,
even if you can somehow ground yourself to where it was a trick and it didn't shock you, that should burn your finger. It would be like touching
it's so hot.
the arc to a welder. So that's like 3,000 degrees. That should be like 3,000 degrees, like a plasma cutter.
Yeah,
should be. But for some reason,
it should be like a plasma.
You got to
like
figure it out where it is cold. It's cold and you can touch it.
Ow, it hit my thumbnail. It could cut me maybe, but that's not burning me. It's not electrocuting me. This is plugged in the wall.
We're going to have to run this test again.
And that looks like you're welding steel or something. I mean, I don't want to look at it. I'm going to get a blind spot, but put my finger right on that flame, and
it's crazy to watch.
It doesn't even feel warm. I got the cold fan blowing.
It's messing up his video. It's got the line going straight down it.
Yeah. So, so can you explain a little bit about why it's not shocking you, like what we're watching?
Well, apparently. again, let's just discount particles. Let's go total quantum and say that they're in particles. So not even wavicles. It's just energy. It's just there's a field, a contiguous field. It's all one uniform kind of thing. And so the frequency is either smaller or larger than the atoms, the resonant frequency of your atoms in your fingers or your nerve endings or whatever. So the waves are either going around, like literally going around the atoms and not exciting them. So in other words, the black body radiation is not actually transferring. So there's no actual particle contact. There's so many things. I mean, I would really have to. I don't even have a complete theory, but just if we get rid of the particle theory, that kind of helps. So you don't have to do all these computations of what is repelling or not touching. But for whatever reason, the energy is not transferring. It's going around the atoms, or it's just so small it's bouncing off of, and it's not really affecting. In other words, it's so high energy though. There's obviously like rays or something. It's affecting the camera. There's distortion, like Sonny said. There's distortion on the camera. Okay. And the arc is bright enough too that it could blind me. So it's as bright as an arc. It should be very, very high voltage. So it should zap me. But the current, there's no current to speak of. So because if you understand electricity, current is your voltage divided by the resistance. Okay, so the higher the resistance, the less current's going to go through there. Well, this wire is very fine copper wire, and the resistance is based on the size, the diameter of the wire. Personally, I think it's actually just on the 2D surface of the wire, and so you probably could have a hollow wire and still get the same conductivity. I don't know, I haven't actually done an experiment, but I don't really believe that there's particles of electrons tunneling through solid wire. That makes no common sense at all. Obviously, a wave of energy traveling through wire, or in the case of DC electricity, it's just a straight field of pressure that's pushing. And if there's no contact for the conduction, for the push to be felt, then it just ends right. So again, but I'm thinking that this DC charge, like the net electric charge, is the same thing as gravity. And if that's true, that's a really big secret that a lot of us are kind of holding back on the anti-gravity, not anti-gravity, but what gravity actually is. If you understand gravity, then you'll be able to control
even if that
it,
was a DC arc, that much of a DC arc that could kill you. A direct DC can kill you too.
Yeah,
even one instant.
Yeah, or even if it was AC, it should like shot.
Oh, that was definitely AC.
I'm sorry, Chad. You're gonna say something.
Oh, I was gonna say I found this video too. Is this the same invention, or is this a different something else? It's a free energy.
Okay,
motor
this is
generator.
This is something else. This is a DC. Yes, this is my DC motor. So this is a motor and a generator. Okay, they're identical. They're totally identical, as close as I could make them, and weight and everything. And so they're inverted. They're offset by 120 degrees. And then they're inverted. So one of them is literally just turned around. So you see they're turned around backwards from each other. And so one of them is running as a motor, and the other one's generating electricity. And you can just run an appliance off of that while you use the motor for free electricity. Or you can recombine them. Well, when you recombine them, it tends to just go and explode, basically. See? Now, if I hold that on there, it will blow up.
He's using those wires for like a brush in your motor for your RC.
Holy
so it's about to blow up again. Pretty powerful motor. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.
Some bitch was hauling.
Yep. Screw that. I ain't touching that no more.
Yeah, if you
okay,
had
that's the motor that actually blew up in front of
you. If you had a case for that and some brushes, you can make that one work.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, you might have to have them go out and come back in.
Oh yeah, that's basically the invention there. That's part of it.
Yeah, Sunsaver, we might have to have you leave and come back again. I'm not sure if it's your Wi-Fi or if it's the laptop. Probably the Wi-Fi, though, if I had to guess.
Mm-hmm. It'll get better when he does that.
Hey, man, this time when we kick you out, if you can close out your web browser completely and then
storms in the area.
Reopen it. It might be just the... Oh, yeah, you do have the storms in the area, too. He's down in Louisiana. He actually was... He was actually warned that he's in, like, Tornado Alley today. Could be getting some tornadoes down there.
Fuck that. Oh, man.
Yeah, check your weather maps. North Louisiana.
Yeah, so you keep getting better, though. It goes real bad, and then it gets better.
Yeah, it kind of comes and goes. We'll just kind of play it by ear. I'll get out again if I need to.
So I'm just scrolling through your YouTube. I'm going to drop your YouTube link in the chat because, we got we got a Russian bot in the chat.
Oh, hey, wrenches, smack them.
Russian bot. Oh,
but yeah, there's your link for your YouTube channel there, and I'm just scrolling through it. It looks like you've tinkered with some other stuff too. What's the water wheel DC generator? I see that on here. Oh, that's the same one. Man, that thing is spinning like crazy.
Yeah, that's the same methodology. Yeah, I call it the water wheel method. Let's see. Okay, there's the video. Okay, that's the same little motor. So I'm showing here how I'm just powering the light off of it. You hear at the end of the video, it actually speeds up a little bit. The motor starts speeding up. So the load that's on there is just me dragging the brush across there. See, right at the end, it's going to get brighter, and then it kind of, you hear it speeding up a little bit too. So.
Yeah, but that's plugged into. What's that plugged into?
So the whole point about this is that one on DC.
It's definitely spinning. Doesn't sound like it's gonna blow up like the last one though.
The last one was cooking. He had too big of a.
No, that one I had stabilized speed.
Yeah.
Speed. Yeah, no, I had the other one set for what they call over unity, or and Nikola Tesla, one of his patents, I'm still trying to find it again, but I read Nikola Tesla wrote that sorry, I just got a visitor came in here, that an unloaded series motor would actually accelerate to infinity and self-destruct. And I was like, yeah, right, that's bullshit. That's free energy. It's over unity. That's not possible. And we're all taught, in the electronics world and electrical engineering, we're taught that this over unity is not possible, that, it's whatever goes in is what comes out, and you can't have more energy out than what goes into a system. Well, thermonuclear bomb puts out more energy than what goes into the system. This cold energy, or the cold fusion, the Pons and Fleischmann, that's another one that people should look up if you're interested in free energy, or the suppressed free energy. But again, sort of trickling now, the technology are starting, Elon put electric cars out there, so they're finally starting to kind of open it up. But we now, with Russian control of the oil and gas, trade, really the entire world needs access to clean sources of energy. It's just not sustainable. It's gonna drive, even if it's abiotic or whatever, and the earth makes more, it's gonna take a couple decades at least to make more oil out of the ground earth. So we do need to start thinking about switching this type of technology.
Yeah. I couldn't help but click on this video too. This says this is a Eterna Flame automatic used vegetable oil drip feed thermostat.
Yeah, like this was sort of trying to walk the middle ground, while Trump was in office. So I didn't get killed. Talking about free energy. So I was using recycled oil. This is vegetable oil, though. It's not
Oh wow.
It has a homemade forceps there to control the drip rate. And there's a homemade IV. That's used vegetable oil from the local pretty lady up there was letting me get free chicken grease from behind the store. They got a grease trap behind the store. So I just go get a scoop, scoop out chicken grease, go put that on. I'm cozy. I got my little DC solar powered hot plate making coffee there, and
that's awesome.
12 old appliances and stuff. And I'm just kind of showing off here. Like, yeah, I don't even work.
You build that stove?
I'm homeless and I like a cane here. Yes, I built that out of masonry, type in mortar and some stones that buddy of mine's dad used to own the local Century ready-mix cement place. So I got free rocks from him. The train yard there, they got a bunch of rocks. Said, yeah, go load your pickup truck, man. No problem. I'll tell Daddy you're coming. They'll unlock the gates. Went there and loaded up the pickup truck.
Oh, that's great.
Hold on, y'all. I got a visitor. I'm gonna just
no problem.
Here.
No problem, man. We'll just keep looking at your YouTube channel.
Oh, this is black cherry, y'all. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
Beautiful.
This is the purple sunset.
Ooh, purple sunset looks good too.
Purple sunset sounds good.
Yes.
I like that one.
This is the titty sprinkles.
Titty sprinkles. Oh wow,
Hey.
y'all. We got one called titty sprinkles.
That
Time to
one
wake
down
up,
for 2 of those.
I ain't never had titty sprinkles, but it sounds good.
Hey, there's a UFO in one of those videos there with the old house that kind of caught a UFO, I think, in the second one. Yeah, the old house, the next one where it's like the trees there.
Yeah.
I think there's a UFO actually in that video
At
some point.
Let's see.
Do you stop and zoom in on it, or is it
Oh, you gotta go? All right. Thank you so much.
Man, I want home delivery.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much. Okay, good deal. We'll see you later. That was my friend Michelle, y'all. Thank you very much.
Shout out Michelle.
Very sweet lady.
So this here is the
So this is
you're
showing the
driving on an old
scenery
moonshiner's
around.
route.
Yeah, this is the old Moonshiner's route, Highway 80.
About when you think the
there's
UFO
some new neighborhoods.
comes
That was
in?
kind of.
Yeah, do
I
you
was
remember
kind of
when
showing
the
that
UFO
off for the tourism trade. This is a great place to live, y'all.
Do you remember when you saw the UFO in here?
Like them
Yeah, I don't know. This might not be it, or maybe it's at the very end of this.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's going to be like not looking. No, I guess that's it on that one.
Oh, okay.
There
was another
Well,
video here. It says
don't
this
know.
is not the planet Venus.
Yes, that's a good one. Let's look at that one. This is not the planet
Venus.
Venus.
What do you think that is? Oh, that's a good camera.
Yeah, it is. Was that moving? Is that object moving in the sky?
No.
Yeah, it started moving. I couldn't. That's when it started moving right there. I was like, fuck. And then it vanished.
Oh, shit. It was moving.
A bird went flying by. How often do you see stuff in the sky that moves that you can't explain? Doesn't look like a bird or a plane or anything.
It almost looked like it was blinking for a second.
Yeah.
Well, I've actually been seeing quite a lot of stuff lately, guys. Yeah, let's see. Just here recently, the sightings. I mean, recently I saw, I'd say about about a year ago. I was walking down the street, just smoking a cigarette, just going for a walk, thinking about stuff, and I seen this little light, like orb looking thing coming over. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I looked and I just started kind of questioning, like, man, what are you? Come closer so I can see you. And I kind of started running up the hill, and it was literally coming over this way. And so then I got near the top of the hill and it crossed over me, and it literally kind of came down, it lowered. And it was just it looked like a balloon floating over, kind of. But then I got closer and it looked like a beach ball, and it kind of was pulsating from the inside, glowing. But then when it got even closer, it sort of dimmed out, and then when it sort of lit back up for just a second, I could see like the surface of it. It literally looked like the sun. If you've seen videos of the sun from Soho or Solar Observatory, that's what it looked like. Literally looked like a small star or sun just overhead. And I told, man, I have no idea.
I told the guys that I seen something like that.
I don't leave it. It just flew up.
He's got a delay again.
Yeah.
I told him I seen something like that on Valentine's Day. That's what I told Chad. It looked like a balloon with an LED light in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just flickered out. They didn't go out of sight. These things, I watched them go out.
Look at this video.
Yeah, like it's like a sphere with the light is like a bubble.
That
it
cat
looks
is
like
like
a
what
little
the
mini
hell?
star. If
It's
you
plugged into the cat,
cavitation.
Chad. The cat's powering it.
The cat's powering it.
Yeah.
That cat is like, what in the world?
It's running off his purrs. Haven't you ever heard that motor purrs like a kitten? That's what it comes from.
So that arc is cold. That's not a hot arc, you're saying.
It's done that cat. Can't even move. Oh, no.
Cat's like, what the hell's going on? What in the Tesla's going on over here?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, like
tick, 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 tick. Oh, this is awesome. That cat's just like, well, it's just another day in the house over here.
Oh, that's too funny with that cat, man.
Yeah, doesn't give two shits.
Oh man, I get self-conscious sometimes, y'all. I get self-conscious sometimes. My neighbors think I'm nuts, so and maybe I am a little bit.
Well, that's all right. I mean, you got to be a little nuts to
gotta be crazy to
find this kind of stuff out.
Yeah, you got to take some risks. You'll never make profit without taking some risk. So
yeah,
won't learn anything without doing experiments. And really testing it. Books can tell you stuff all day, but that's what they think they know about the subject that you're supposed to study. So applied physics is my thing, though. If they learn something new, I say, well, hey, how can I apply this principle in some mechanical or electrical fashion? Electronics is my expertise. I was digital electronics, used to design computers, before I did the construction company stuff and everything. But,
mm-hmm. Can you tell us what's going on in this video?
Yeah, like I quit in the 90s after Bob Lazar. When Bob Lazar came out public, that was when I kind of realized there's more going on here. Okay, this is the emergency diesel stove heater. Okay, this is literally just diesel. This is the new low sulfur diesel that they sell at every gas station in America.
Mm-hmm.
It typically in an emergency situation, you get a little kit and you pop it. And this was the very first prototype, though. This was sort of an interesting burner. It made a vortex, and you see the hollow. So in other words, that's like a ring of plasma. And you see it's so clean burning, there's no vent. I'm not even worried about carbon monoxide.
There's no soot or nothing coming off that diesel.
Burning it so cleanly.
Whoa.
And this is the point I was trying to make. Yeah, there's no soot, there's no carbon monoxide, there's no vent for it. Even though it's an open flame, which shouldn't be able to do. But something about that vortex there, that's look up Victor Schauberger. He was a German scientist. You know, and he was not really, I don't think he was really favored by the Nazis. So he was sort of an anti-Nazi German scientist, but based on his ideas of vortex technology, that's why that's doing that. That's how it looks that way.
Wow. Is that a kit you had to buy, or you said you made that?
Oh, he made that.
No, these are all inventions. Yeah, everything I build from scratch. Usually I collect garbage out of people's. You know, I see something, I just go for walks too, and looking. Hey, somebody threw out a. You know, the other day I found a what do you call it? Top English air fryer. I think it's fancy air fryer things, big red computer, everything. You know, by the curb, and so I got it. You know, went home, opened it up, found a little switch. There's always some kind of little booby trap. Everything is designed to fail. That's another thing that really pisses me off. All of our electronics are designed like, as soon as your warranty is done, there's a microcontroller in there that's like, on this particular date, you know, I was purchased by this person on this date, and you know, on this day you're gonna start blinking, the lights will go out. Even your LED bulbs, you know, cheapy LED bulbs got a microcontroller in there. Why? LED bulbs, they won't burn out for 100 years unless something tells them, hey, it's time for you to burn out, so make them buy more light bulbs. It's all about money.
It's all about money. Always follow the money.
That's what's wrong with our environment. That's what's wrong with our environment.
I 100% believe that's true for cell phones, that they go a year and start messing up.
Yep.
Yeah, they're designed to fail. Nothing's made to last. I got a telephone that's 100 years old, still works.
This guy is the new Doc from Back to the Future. I'm telling you. That's true, Brent.
I've got a radio from like the 30s, the 1930s. It was actually in this antique house when I found this antique house. That's a whole nother that's a really good story to how I found this house.
We'd love to hear it.
But yeah, radio from the 1930s, old tube, vacuum tubes and everything still works. Never had a tube replaced. I cut it on right away. And it took like a minute. So I was like, oh, it doesn't work. I forgot the tubes got to heat up before they start to ionize. And well,
we'd like to hear the story about how you found your house.
Saying no after about 30 seconds. No hits or static. Even our modern AM. The house? Yeah, let's talk about the house. Brief story. Decided to get into real estate investing because the virtual reality didn't pan out. It was just totally suppressed by everyone. I had to go along because, I mean, what am I going to do? I got no money. I got no lawyers. I don't have a factory to start making these headsets. And then came out with Virtual Boy. The Virtual Boy thing with accelerometers was kind of a cheesy thing. So I was doing construction. I was actually working as a delivery driver for a plumbing supply. And I saw a house for sale. And I was into real estate investing too. So I already had bought some land. And I had a place just right down the road. I saw a house for sale. I said, man, I got a lot like just 2 miles down. You know, it's house for sale to be moved. And they had it up on a trailer parked next to the hardware store. Oh, this is perfect. $10,000 or $12,000 for this old antique little shack. I'll move it down the road, fix it up, and I got a really cheap house. So I called the guy, and left a message. Man, I'm really interested. You know, I got good land down the road, ready to move this house for sale to be moved. Nothing. So finally, phone rang. Yeah. All right, this is Mr. Sunsaver. Are you interested in buying a house? Yeah. I was, yeah. Oh, we already sold that house. Fucking 2 weeks I've been leaving messages, and you call me, fucker. Yeah. Fuck you. Why you want to call me just to tell me you sold the fucking house? Just leave it alone. I already forgot about you and got on my life, and you just ruined my life again, man. So then I'm dwelling on it. You know, 2 months goes by, and I'm making a delivery for the plumbing supply, and I see a house for sale to be moving. Little town Chatham. It's like 30 miles down the road. So I see this house for sale to be moved. I get out, I look at it. This one's even better. It's like this perfect little antique house, wood frame. All the woods are perfect, you know. So I said, man, I want to go and look and see what it looks like inside, you know. But what I could see inside is, well, hey, the outside looks good. and underneath I went and banged around for termites, and I didn't see any sign of termite damage. I called right away and said, yeah, I'm really interested. Look, I'll give you $1,000 a day or whatever, And it's like, huh? I said, yeah, I'm calling about the house for sale in Chatham. He acted like he didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, man, don't leave me hanging. I'm trying to do a business deal here. He said, well, what house? I said, the house for sale in Chatham is said to be moved. If I had your phone number, this is like, oh yeah. Well, we just put that sign out today. I said, well, that's good for you. But have you sold it or what? Do you want to sell it? Come on. Jeez, it was like pulling eye teeth. And I was finally like, well, yeah, but are you sure you want that old house? And I said, yes, I do. I have some land. I want to pay you. I have money. What do we got to do here? And he said, well, you better go look in that old house. And I said, okay, well, I'll go look in it, but I've seen the outside and I'm pretty sure I want it anyways, no matter what the inside looks like, because I'm a carpenter. And then he said, well, I can't charge you nothing for that old house.
My kind of house.
He had a contract with the state of Louisiana to demolish the house because they were going to widen the highway. But he owned a moving company that moves houses and trailers. So he was, I'll just sell the lumber as a house. And I said, I realized what was happening. I said, well, look, I'll tell you what, you're going to give me a receipt for $1 for the lumber. And then I'm going to go ahead and pay you to move the house. And you're not going to sell this house to anybody else. I'm going to go take the sign down tomorrow. Okay, good. Well, I got a deal. Yeah, we got a deal. You better not do like the other guy did and pull it right out from under me. Shit. Life story, man. So I ended up getting a house for $1 and I paid $5,000 to have it moved here.
Oh wow. Can't beat that, man. Can't beat it.
That's awesome.
Got lucky.
That's a good story.
Real blessing. I was kind of praying a lot, so I am a believer in a higher power. That's probably what all this field stuff is. Like, how does our memory, our spirit, or soul? These bodies are just containers, apparently. If you talk to this, I can't remember her name now, but there's an abductee, and her experience sounds very similar to kind of what I experienced as a child. And again, reason I got out of the electricity, all that whole thing, when I started hearing about Bob Lazar, that was right around the time, and then not long after that, I get a letter. We went to Disney World, we showed the virtual reality, artificial reality thing, and really nothing came out of it. And then like a few months later, I get a recruitment letter from the U.S. Navy Department of Advanced Research Laboratory. This was supposedly the department that signed the check that George Knapp found that Bob Lazar was paid by this. This is the actual department that was signing his check. And I was like, dang. And I really wanted to. My dad talked me out of it. He said, no, son, if you join the Navy, you'll be taking orders from some dumbass that doesn't know half as much as you do. I know you're a genius and you just won't be happy. And he, maybe he's right. Maybe I would have washed out or just would have cussed somebody out or not took orders. But on retrospect, I could have joined as an officer. They were going to send me to MIT or whatever for special training. And they were going to send me to Area 51 probably to either work in reverse engineering, one or the other, because they had seen me at Disney World, with the showing off the virtual reality. But and it was really, really real time. Like, there was no time lag. This was instantaneous, real time, high speed tracker that we made in 1988. They said, I read an article. It was Electronics Now. I can't remember the guy's name, but he said, some people think that, some electronics engineers think that Hall effect sensors can be used as compasses, but the Earth's magnetic field is way too weak to ever be detected by, weak. Yeah, but it's huge. It protects us from the solar radiations. Our Earth's global geomagnetic field is what creates the Van Allen radiation belts. And so he said, no electronics engineer will ever be able to make a practical or useful electronic compass out of Hall effects. I said, I'm going to prove this guy wrong. and I built a 1,000 gain amplifier, precision amplifier with, high tech, state of the art electronics I got from Texas Instruments and from Honeywell.
Whoa.
And did it. And I was like, well, I proved that guy wrong. And for me, it was all just ego, though. I wasn't even paying attention to the outside world, people. I wasn't about the publicity. It was just about the ego, getting it done or making money. I mean, I had a wife wanting to start too. So
Sunsaver.
that was why we
You
were really
need to,
pushing to get a patent and do all that. Yeah.
You need to start running like that motor you have with the blue arc we were talking about. Start doing those tests on some kind of a scale, a physical scale that you're weighing it on. Run the motor and then take a weight of it, and then run the motor with the blue arc on there. If that makes that lighter in any way, might be onto something right there. Because if it's some kind of spark we've never seen, maybe it does something we don't know about. If you make it lighter, what happens if you have a whole bunch of those sparks, I'd be interested just to see. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but that's how you find stuff out.
Right, like you could have whatever's making that spark, you could have a whole bunch of them in a circle, all aimed in the middle, and have like one giant one in the middle or something. And who knows what would happen.
Right. Well, there was a really strange thing, kind of paranormal thing about that particular motor was it was going, I was making a video of it, I think, and it just quit. And I said, oh, well, just I got a loose wire or something. And I tested and I said, yeah, so this coil apparently bad. Before it was like nothing would get hot. Like it was totally cold to the touch. The blue flame, like I said, my finger was literally in the arc. Even the plasma coming off of it looked like flame. The finger was literally in the arc, and it was in the fire part, the plasma flame part. And I felt nothing. There was no shock. There was no heat. That was so mysterious. And then the coils, and I turned it off, still pretty cold. Now, all AC motors are heat up, and I think I have a theory that explains this too. This is why I'm going to DC. With DC, I've made these motors that I literally ran it for an hour and turned it off. That's another video you can find on there, Chad. Don't show it on here. I'm drunk in the video, so it's kind of obnoxious listening to my drunk ass. I don't drink anymore, though, either. It's very rare that I get drunk. I got drunk, made a video. I would decide to post it anyway. But I ran it for a whole hour on a 18-volt lithium ion, like a Milwaukee cordless drill battery. This big-ass motor. Big-ass motor. Maybe show a clip of that big-ass motor. It's called the Shamrock motor. I don't know if you're still on there. Shamrock motor
I can look for it.
test, endurance test, or something like that.
I just searched motor
These
on
are
your channel.
cold
There's
running
a lot of
motors
videos
about
with
stealth
motors.
technology.
The skill
type
skill
in
saw
Shamrock
motor.
motor, maybe.
I searched for Shamrock and nothing popped
That was
up.
just showing how I can modify. Yeah, I was just showing how I can improve known electric motor on the market today. What I'm doing is far superior. It's just I've reinvented the wheel. What you're not supposed to do, I know. No, you're not supposed to reinvent the wheel. But I've never followed the rules too well. I make my own rules and try to run my own company.
Well, that's how new stuff gets invented. Not following the rules.
That's right. That's why I think if that arc
some
affects
rules,
gravity in any way, that's something you need to recreate that and do that test on some kind of a scale that you can weigh that machine with.
Yeah, I don't see the one that you're talking about. Is it made out of a skill saw?
Like I was going to say, no. I wish I could see what you're looking at. Can you?
Yeah. Here, let me. So I typed in motor, and then these are all the videos that pop up that have the word motor in them.
Or scroll back towards the future a little bit. Okay, here
Tesla
we go.
coil.
Yeah, keep going down.
Spark gap test.
Maybe go back.
Open source.
Maybe go back up. Hey, that's a good one. The E Shelby.
The eShelby 6.0 converted into an e-bike.
Nah, yeah. Scroll. I'll tell you what. Just keep scrolling down, Chad, and I'll find us one. Or that's a good one.
All right.
Let's see.
Morning rant. Morning rant off his
Yeah, keep
meds. I'm
scrolling
sure that's a
down.
good one. Night riding with speed controller glowing red.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Your speed controller got a little warm, did
That's
it?
a good one.
yeah,
Yeah,
watch.
let's watch that one, Chad, real
What
quick.
in the world is going
Yeah,
on
let's
here?
watch
Watch how hot it get.
There's another paranormal. It's more shit here. The heat is contained. You know, it doesn't transfer to the
This is
tiny
some
little
Doc Brown stuff here.
little bitty supply. They're kind of heavy gauge wires, but
What?
look at that.
That's not a
shit.
light. That's heating up from. That's heating up.
Yeah, that's
Holy.
like a old school RC manual.
Yeah,
speed
that'll
controller.
burn me. That one will burn me.
Burn me. You curl your hair with that one for sure.
Wow. This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is straight out of Back to the Future right here.
Oh,
Check me out.
Wow.
That shit was fun, brother.
I bet. Cruising around town with an electric bike.
can't stop. Ah.
Don't need gas.
Oh, pull that red thing up, red hot thing up to the gas pumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. That's pretty cool. Got her driving around. Oh man, that's sweet. Jake's like, what the heck?
Why are you crying, Holly?
I'll make your bud. Make your bud back in.
Well, Sunsaver, we're at the 1 hour mark,
Hey,
unfortunately.
show the end of that video,
I'm sure we
Chad.
could
I
probably
catch
go
up
another.
to the motorcycle. I chase the motorcycle.
You chase a
Oh yeah, I
motorcycle
gotta go.
down.
I gotta go.
Yeah, dude, we gotta get off here, unfortunately, but hopefully we can
Oh
meet
yeah,
up again
show the
because
end of
there's a
that
lot
video,
of
'cause
there's a lot of stuff we could talk about for sure.
Yeah, and Eric's coming on a little bit. Paranormal Highway.
Eric's coming on, sweet. Yeah,
Shout out
everybody
to
make sure to
him.
go check out Eric from Paranormal Highway. He's coming on soon. But I'll make sure. Let me drop Sunsaver's link one more time.
Hey,
here
good
in
to
the
see
chat.
everybody.
Yeah, you guys know him. You
Come
love
on,
him.
man.
You've seen him in the chat rooms. So thanks for hanging out with us with Sunsaver. Man, I'm trying to find the link. Copy, paste. There's Sunsaver's link there in the chat room. Please go over and subscribe to his channel and watch a couple of his videos. Thanks everybody for being here. And Sunsaver will definitely have another conversation with you another day when we have some more time. Hopefully on the Chop Shop, maybe we'll get a nighttime show going.
Yeah, do a late night hangout, y'all.
Absolutely. All right. We'll see you
All
guys
right.
next time.
Thanks
and
for having me
we'll,
on, Sonny. Spooky.
No problem, Sunsaver. We'll
Thank
see
you, brother.
guys. We'll
Thank
see
you so
next
much.
time, buddy. The
Peace
delay is
out.
killing me.
Good night.
The delay is killing me.
Yep, it got worse.
All right. So he's backstage. All right, man. Well, I'm going to get off here and we'll have another show on Thursday.
That's right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Spooky. Thanks, Sonny. Peace.
Later.
It sound right, boys.